All right, first up tonight, score one for the Dubs. You've heard warnings about inflation for what feels like forever. You've heard them from politicians. You've heard them from the ads telling you to buy gold. You've even heard my own mea culpa because there hasn't happened any inflation. Turns out that Janet Yellen and other inflation dubs on the Fed had it right. Important new Wall Street Journal study shows that Yellen and New York Fed head William Dudley were the best forecasters for the past 4 years. And inflation hawks like James Bullard, Charles Plosser, and Jeffrey Lacker, they were wrong. They had the worst forecasting records. All right, so one question is, does this strengthen Yellen's case to be the next Fed chair? Let's ask Peter Schiff. He's the CEO of Euro Pacific Capital. And we go to Scott Sumner. We welcome him to the show for the first time. He's professor of economics at Bentley University. And Professor Sumner is the leader of the new Market Monetarist School. Scott Sumner, I want to begin with you because everyone was talking about the printing press money, the $3 trillion plus that the Fed injected into its balance sheet and presumably into the financial markets, but the inflation never showed up. Why, Scott, in your judgment, why did the printing press money not show up?
Well, that's basically because when interest rates fall close to zero, you can put a lot of money into the system and it doesn't have much inflationary effect. This is especially true because they started paying interest on reserves back in October 2008. And that further encouraged banks to hold on to the money. So historically, when countries get near zero interest rates, inflation generally stays low despite a lot of money injection.
How far can they go, Scott? I want to get.
You know, when the Fed monetized $3 trillion worth of mortgages and treasuries, by definition, that is inflation. Quantitative easing is just a euphemism for inflation. We're talking about the effect of inflation when we talk about rising prices. We already have rising real estate prices. We have rising stock prices. Inflation has caused that. But I believe consumer prices are also rising much faster than the government admits. We're hiding behind these CPI numbers, which have been reverse engineered to come up with a low number. But if you actually look at what's happening to consumer prices, not what the government tells you is happening, but what is actually happening, prices are rising a lot faster. And so Yellen is wrong. There is inflation, and it's going to get even worse. And part of the reason that we're not feeling it is that we're exporting a lot of it. We send countries like China our paper money, and they send us their goods. And so money flows out and goods come